Nick, as a professor, do you use AI? The immediate answer is yes, of course I use AI. Hello, everybody. This is Nick Tatiero, Professor of Information Technologies and Computer Science, Lakeland Community College. The deeper question is, do I allow my students to use AI? And then, people, you're a hypocrite, Nick. You use AI, but you're not going to allow your students to AI? We'll delve into that in a bit. Okay, understand. AI has been around, or generative AI has been around for many years. It is that mining of data, of taking these large chunks of data that we have been gathering for a long time. We just haven't been calling it AI, or it hasn't been dumped into our laps. It wasn't this shock value of that, oh my God. Now, let's break down some things. In the late 90s, Google came out with a new search engine. There were many search engines before Google, and there was many search engines during Google. Those search engines just took the approach of going to websites and looking and doing word counts on those websites to say, okay, this is the most popular word in this particular website, and then do their sort order, their search order by the most popular words or things like that. It's very primitive. Google took a different approach. Google created these things called spiders, which were basically programs that went out to different web pages and looked at the links. It looked at the links that pointed to a web page, and it looked to the links from a web page going out, and it began to organize and sort priority based upon those links. They're called spiders. That was one of the earlier forms of AI that we were pretty much happy with, but we didn't call it AI, and we were fine with it. Along comes YouTube. If you're watching this video, you're using YouTube, but YouTube, we begin to use this phrase, the algorithms. If you read any kind of YouTube books or you go on the internet, they talk about the algorithms. And fundamentally, when I or anybody uploads a video to YouTube, the YouTube algorithms go and they look at the video's name, they look at the description, they look at the thumbnail, they look at every single frame in that video, and they create data points. So when somebody goes searching for a video, they will compare that with those particular data points. That's a form of AI. But along comes this generative AI where we begin to ask questions to the computer to say, can you tell me X? And it feeds back to us, right? That seems a little scary, right? Is this technology going to replace my job? That's a different discussion. So I think, personal opinion, one of the issues that people have with AI, and maybe this negative feeling, the beginning of the negative feeling with AI, is that we're calling it some form of intelligence. It's been around for a while, and it's going to stay. Regardless of what you may hear. Is there an AI bubble? Are they going to put restrictions on AI? It's the more data we collect, this lack of a better word, the smarter the artificial intelligence, or the better hits. We can call that the better hits that the AI intelligence is going to provide back. Right. So let's go up to my screen and let's do a little bit of a deep dive in my expectations for my students for the use of AI. Okay. Generally speaking, I have two generic policies associated with AI, and I will often tweak those between different classes. But the two generic policies are, the first one is no, you cannot use AI in this course, right? Pretty straightforward. In another video, I will explore, yes, of course, use AI in this course. And those are two ends of a different spectrum, and I can adjust my content based upon, or my AI policy inside my syllabus based upon where that particular course may be. So in this video, I'm going to explore the first part. No, you cannot use AI. Now, let's be honest. It's going to be almost impossible for me to say absolutely positively not. But I'm going to tell you, if the student was to use AI and I determined, or there's a way that I find out that the student used AI for an assignment, then there's going to be repercussions. But what's more important is, when do I use this statement? When do I use this policy statement? What class do I use it in? And we'll investigate policy statement. And I think the best example for me is I teach a programming logic course. And if you look on the screen, this is the course description for my programming logic course. And basically it says this course is trying to teach you the fundamentals of programming. We are trying, or I am trying to teach you how to write code, right? So the end product of the assignments are you are writing code. You are starting with nothing, and whatever techniques you learned, you're going to use those techniques to produce an assignment and your final product. You can't use AI to do that because I'm trying to teach you how to write code. I'm not trying to teach you how to have AI write the code for you. So it's a very distinctive no. The outcome, the assignment is we are trying to teach you something. We are trying to teach you to produce something, and that production is the learning process. So in this particular situation for programming logic, where the course description, the rationale for the course is I'm teaching you how to write code. Can't have you use AI to write that code for you. You're missing the purpose. So now if I go to my particular AI policy, scroll down, it's pretty restrictive. Of course, I'm trying to teach you how to write code. Can't have AI write the code for you, but it's pretty restrictive. It is basically saying, if you look at it, strictly prohibited, right? I don't want you looking at AI. I don't want you thinking to go to, it's just a start, Nick. I just need that little jump start. You need a little jump start with your code, talk to me, right? And I'm going to give you that jump start without giving away the code. It's hard for AI to know. I just need that little jump start versus I'm going to write it for you. It's not going to do that. It's going to write it for you. And then even if your intentions are good, where you're saying, I'm just going to look at it, it's already affected the outcome of the program that you are writing. So this is extremely restrictive. Now, if you want a copy of this, I'll put it inside my descriptions. It's just mine. You will notice the majority of this was written by AI, right? I asked ChatGPT on this given date, write me a policy statement where they could not use it, right? Why did I take that? You're saying, wait a second, Nick. You're telling your students in this specific video they cannot use AI, but you use AI to write the code. Absolutely. Because the important part is not, I wasn't trying to learn to write policies. That wasn't my approach. I needed a policy, right? There's a big difference there where I need to learn how to write a policy versus I needed a policy that would work. And so I went to ChatGPT, and I just thought it was kind of interesting, a double-edged sword. I don't want you using AI to write programs, but I use it for my policy statement. This is pretty restrictive. It says what is prohibitive. And let's be honest, we cannot, create laws to restrict every single thing, but I think I try to hit as many bases as possible. No generation of text, no generation of the coding assignments, no generation of imaging, any of the stuff that you would ask AI to produce for you, you can't use it in this course. And basically the repercussions, consequences of the violation, you're done. I'm going to follow the approach of a violation. I have different policies towards academic honesty, and I'm going to follow those accordingly. So this is, it's short, it's sweet. It kind of gives a little bit of examples, but it basically is saying don't use AI. You can't. We're trying to have an outcome, right? And we're trying to teach you that outcome. Having AI do that outcome for you isn't going to work. So in this video, explored the no concept. You cannot use AI in this particular course. It's in my syllabus. Programming logic. We're trying to teach you how to become a programmer, etc. And I know I'm repeating myself. I completely understand that. So this is just an example. There are literally hundreds of examples of this type of policy. In other videos, I'm going to explore a yes policy. Yeah, go ahead, use it. But there's always going to be restrictions. And there's a spectrum, right? There's a spectrum of potential uses for AI. This is just one faculty's idea of how to somewhat control AI in a course where we are trying to teach students how to produce outcome. We can't have AI produce those outcomes. So with that being said, let's go and learn something.